Today, we are talking about the early years of the legendary Jushin Liger. Welcome to Wrestling Stable, where you don't join, you're chosen. Please follow us on Twitter at Wrestling Stable or visit us at WrestlingStable.com for the latest pro wrestling previews and reviews. Jushin Liger retired from New Japan Pro Wrestling in January 2020. He had a career that spanned 3.5 decades, where he wrestled over 4,000 matches. But before all of the accolades and accomplishments, he wrestled under his real name, Keiichi Yamada. In the New Japan dojo, Yamada trained alongside the likes of Keiji Muto, Masahiro Chono, and Shinya Hashimoto. While continuing his training, he had his debut match for New Japan Pro Wrestling in March of 1984 at Korakuen Hall. He was 19 at the time and lost against Sunji Kosugi. He debuted under his real name. The next year, in 1985, Yamada participated in the Young Lion Cup. This year was the debut of the tournament and is the successor of the Karl Gotch Cup that NJPW promoted in the 1970s. Yamada made it to the finals of the tournament. He once again faced Sunji Kosugi. Their first match was 5 minutes long. This one was 21 minutes. They had a test of strength, which Yamada originally won. They do a good job of feeling each other out and exhibit some great mat wrestling. Yamada even jumps up and locks on a headlock scissors before being tossed down to the mat by Kosugi. Midway through the match, Sunji locks in a figure four, but it is reversed, thus reversing the pressure. Sunji rolls it back into a figure four, and Yamada gets to the ropes. Toward the end of the match, Yamada locks in a full Nelson as the crowd erupts, but Sunji gets to the ropes. Then Yamada gets Sunji up for a tombstone and delivers it brilliantly. He even holds it on for a few seconds and takes a few steps, holding all of Sunji's weight. Yamada locks in the full Nelson again and tries to suplex Sunji, but he breaks the hold and escapes to the outside. Upon re-entering the ring, Sunji rolls up Yamada and gets the win. Sunji Kosugi has defeated Keiichi Yamada again. In January 1986, in the New Year Dash, Yamada participated in the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship League, but lost to Black Tiger. In March of 1986, the Young Lion Cup returned. Keiichi Yamada was in the tournament again. The Young Lion Cup is a round-robin tournament in the same style as NJPW's annual G1 Climax tournament. The two wrestlers with the most points at the end of the round-robin tournament would then face off in a singles match for the Young Lion Cup trophy. The winners of the Young Lion Cup would also be rewarded with a learning excursion overseas. Yamada made it to the finals of this tournament against Goto. In 12 minutes, Yamada got the win and won the Young Lion Cup. On July 19th, 1986, Yamada faced Takada in his first IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. He lost this bout. In the fall of 1986, Keiichi Yamada went on his excursion. He went to All-Star Wrestling in England and wrestled under the name Flying Fuji Yamada. In All-Star Wrestling, Yamada was a two-time World Heavy Middleweight Champion. Both of his wins were against Rollerball Mark Rocco. Back in January 1986, in the New Year Dash, Yamada lost to Black Tiger, which was the character that Rocco wrestled in New Japan Pro Wrestling at the time. The second time Yamada lost the World Heavy Middleweight Championship was in a 15-round bout on ITV. Yamada lost in 2 minutes and 15 seconds of round 7 after a tombstone pile driver. Yamada's next excursion was to Canada. In 1987, he went to Stu Hart Stampede Wrestling in Calgary. He also trained in the world-famous Dungeon. He would team with Stu Hart's son Owen on several occasions. They were a tag team and even a part of a six-man team with Brian Pillman, who he would face off with as Jushin Thunder Liger on the first episode of Monday Nitro for World Championship Wrestling. In the fall of 1987, Yamada returned to New Japan Pro Wrestling. In a match against Funaki, he debuted his invention, the Shooting Star Press. This is where the wrestler jumps forward from the top rope, presses their knees to their own chest, executes a backflip, and lands on the opponent as if performing a body press. Throughout 1987 and 1988, Yamada would continue to get better and better. He would face Owen Hart a few more times, this time in NJPW instead of Stampede Wrestling. This included a match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship in June 1988. He would also take part in the first ever Top of the Super Juniors, where he earned 31 points, not enough to progress to the finals. Yamada would later visit All-Star again in 1989 with tag partner Flying Funaki. He would return to Calgary in January 1989. Within months of his second Canadian excursion, NJPW called him back as they needed him for a gimmick based on an extremely popular anime superhero. Yamada was given a superhero-like full-body costume and a demonic-looking mask, resembling the superhero type featured in anime programs. Yamada as Jushin Liger returned to NJPW on April 24th, 1989 at the Tokyo Dome. Thank you for checking out Wrestling Stable Stories. You can also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling Stable and visit us at WrestlingStable.com. Where you don't join, you're chosen.